Welcome everybody to the Bird Speak podcast. This is Bird Speak. If you're new to the channel, please like, comment, and subscribe. I know a lot of my people are not who's going to be listening to this are probably not wrestling fans, but it does involve something that happens a lot, not just in wrestling, but just in business and personal stuff. So it could apply to anything. But we're going to talk about what happened with the WWE, and I will try to link it to stuff that's happened in real life, especially with people who listen to me. You can see this happen in YouTube. So we're going to get into it. But first, there's been a while since I've done a live stream. I've been busy. It is funny, and it's also a good thing that you have a lot of coworkers that care about you, and some people might think that's nosy, but I think that is a good thing because it kind of shows that if something would have happened to you, people are actually going to investigate. So I got into a little trouble at work. Nothing with an inmate, but it was dealing with officers and something like that. And I let people know what was going on between me and the administration. And I took a week off as I did my live streams while I was on the road. Now, as I was coming back, I got 2 phone calls from 2 coworkers. They're like, "What's going on? Where you been? We didn't know where you were." Somebody said that they thought I got fired, and I'm like, "No, I went on vacation. I ain't gonna sit up here and wait on these people. Like, whatever they're gonna plan to do, um, that's what they're gonna do. But I'm not about to sit here and be shut in and worry about that." I'm like, man, I left. Like, I I had a vacation. Like I said, like y'all saw my live stream. I drove all the way to uh, Las Vegas and drove back. I was having I wasn't even thinking about this place. I was just enjoying the view, driving there and back. I wasn't even thinking about work. I'm like, shit, I'm not at work. I don't give a shit. Whatever they plan to do, they plan to do. Now they kind of holding me up because I'm still trying to get in a house, and I got my credit score to where I want it to be. So I'm like, man, they kind of holding me up, and now I'm just like, well, fuck it then. If whatever they're gonna do, they're gonna do. They fire me, they fire me, whatever. But I got other streams. I'm doing side hustle to get some extra money, and in case, I be out of my main job for a bit, I got another thing to fall back on. So I'm working that out. So whatever happened, Captain. That's all I can say. That whatever they plan to do, that's what they're gonna do. I can't control them, so it is what it is. So that's why I haven't been on here, because I'm doing that. And boy, and seeing the stuff that's been going on. We had Obsidian get kicked off of YouTube, which was hilarious. I mean, black women did what I've been saying. I said, y'all worried, you're going after these men when you should be going after YouTube. So that's what Kimberly Foster did. She went to YouTube and she caught them on a good day. It's just like, I mean, anybody could have saw this. When they got rid of Cynthia G, who else is on the chopping block? Obsidian. You got rid of one shot, Jack. What you think was going to happen with another one? And he can make all the excuses, all the bullshit that he wants. But the fact is, he was messing with this woman, doing all kinds of stupid shit, and he had to pay for it. It was the right time, right place. And they don't give a fuck because it's not theirs. YouTube is not ours. It don't belong to no black man. It don't belong to no black woman. And that's why I said from the beginning, you asking these women in particular, you asking the men to do something, they don't own it. They don't control it. Go to the people that control it and harass them. And you keep on them. You don't go to the person with no power. Because at that point, all you're doing is bitching and moaning. What's that going to do? Except annoy the people who might be on your side. Y'all need to do something. We don't own it, ma'am. We don't control it, ma'am. Well, y'all can say something. Ma'am, they don't give a fuck what the black man said. What you think they're going to do with us? Hey, what's up, D. Darrell? How you doing? So, again, if they don't even care what the black man think, what the fuck? What does it matter if we go say something? Go to YouTube. And Kimberly did. Had all her information ready and presented it. And she called him on a good day. What the come on, James Kill. What the hell is this name? What is this? God damn. Crazy. What's up? I'm not saying that name though. I am not saying that name. But what did she do? I'm like, well, like I said, Kimberly Fawcett came with her evidence, presented on YouTube, and caught YouTube at the right time because they trying to clean up. That's what happened. That's what happened with Cynthia G. They caught YouTube they came at the right time. It's like, hey, we gotta clean up. I'm in a whole different space just being me. I'm not doing that name out there. But it's nice to see you, James Keels. I'm just going after what happened, talking about just a little bit on Obsidian and Kimberly Foster, talking about that stuff. I mean, she came with her stuff, and YouTube was, well, hey, they on the clean up the space type stuff. So now, hey, guess what? Obsidian gone, Cynthia G gone, a bunch of other people. Now you got a choice. You either gonna have to clean up your act a little bit. Man. Man, I'm gonna put that name up there. That shit is funny. Boy, that's funny. But yeah, that's all it's gonna be. So yeah, people got options. Either you're gonna clean up your act a little bit, watch what you say, or you can go to Rumble and try it out. But then that's gonna test your audience. Do your audience really rock with you like that? If they do, you'll be successful. If they don't, oh well. This is just a test to see how the audience really feel about them. So, for Obsidian, that's gonna be me. I made people laugh. That's my kid. Yeah, I do. I give you that, James. You do make people laugh, especially when you in action potential. That thing is comedy gold. But yeah, but enough about that, and a lot of it is like now people picking sides, and to me, a lot of it is bullshit because the stuff that Obsidian do, I've seen women salute guys who do that to other women and other men, but when it happens to them, the same people that they were supporting do the same shit to them. Now these guys, public enemy number one. God damn. Hold on, I gotta take this phone call. I'm gonna have to cut this stream short. Bye, yeah. All right, he's talking about Rude and Bomb right now. Who talking about Rude and Bomb? Oh, me? Yeah, yeah, with Rude and Bomb, that's the whole thing. It's like Rude was doing the same shit they complain about the Mansfield talking about, but they okay with him. They talking about all these guys in the Mansfield being pedos, but you got a pedo you talking to. Make that make sense. You calling everybody else pedo with no evidence of them being pedos. You talking to a convicted pedo, and you think, and we know that it starts when they're young. And you think that people grow out of being pedos? Come on now. That's some. I'm like, that's why I said a lot of this stuff is hypocritical bullshit. It's not about. It's not about staying on principle. It's who they like. And I've seen this on all different channels. If it's somebody they like, they cool with it. But if they don't like that person or they say something they don't like, now they public enemy number one. Oh, see, he been saying pedo stuff. He been saying all this crazy stuff about women. Wait a second. Week ago, you were okay with him saying that stuff. He hadn't changed. He didn't change up. It's he didn't change up. He's just now going after you. But y'all okay with it. Okay. If you okay with it, you're okay with it. But don't come on this crusade talking about we want to get rid of pedos. We want to get rid of these abusers of women when you got an abuser of women right there sitting on your panel talking to you. That's why I say I don't jump off the porch for none of these content creators because a lot of them are full of bullshit and hypocrites. Sorry, you're not gonna paint me. And this ain't even manosphere, the sisterhood. I've seen pro-blacks do it. I've seen different areas do the same stuff. It's not about principle. It's about who they like, who they rock with. And if they don't rock with you, you're public enemy number one. That's why I don't take this stuff seriously. I don't. These supporters of women. Oh, we love women, but they allowing a man to do fucked up shit to women, and they ain't cheering it on. Oh, this man. I'm a protector of women, but on the back in the background, he up there tricking and doing trying to get some pussy, like just like they complain about the manosphere doing. That's why, like I said, I can't take this stuff seriously. I'm pro-black. I'm for black people coming together. No, you're not. You for the black women. You want black men to serve black women like they fucking slaves. That's what you want. Sorry, I'm not doing it. Or you just here to, I'm for the betterment of black men. No, you want to roast black men because you got an issue with black men. Sorry, I'm not part of that. If I'm going to roast black men, I'm going to roast them, but I'm not going to roast them to the point where I'm going to kill their image. But you got a lot of people who do not care. They're about money, views, and validation from men and women. They do not care about bringing black people together. They don't care about the black men. They don't care about the black women. And I'll give Bomb a little bit of credit. Hey, I'm for entertainment. Okay, bet. I give her that. Hell, I'll even give Obsidian that. Hey, I'm about making money. He said that on multiple occasions. So I'll give them two credit. But a lot of these other ones, you're fucking hypocrites. They don't stand on nothing. Whoever gets them the most views, clicks, and money, they gonna rock with. Or they going against their enemies. Like I said on one live stream, they got common enemies, but no common interests. Whoever's going against their enemy at that time, that's who they're gonna rock with. That's who they're gonna support until it's time to turn the knife on them, or the content creator turn the knife on them, aka Peso Man, DJ Torch, even and Honest Truth, same thing. It's crazy. But enough about that. We're gonna come to what I really came to talk about is interesting time for WWE. Now, to give you some background about my interest in WWE, I've been a fan of WWE for ever since I was a child. I remember the days of Hulk Hogan, Sergeant Slaughter, Big Boss Man, Rowdy Piper, Macho Man. So I've been a fan. I remember the Attitude Era, Rock, Stone Cold, Undertaker, Triple H, Badass Billy Gunn, Road Dogg, DX, all that. I've been through all the facets of WWE. Now my interest has waned a bit because it kind of got boring. But there are people that I do still like to look at. I'll watch their matches, like a John Cena, a Seth Rollins, Samoa Joe, even though he's in AEW, Chris Jericho. I'll watch certain people. But to watch a Raw, when they went to 3 hours, it was just like, this is too long. And some of the storylines are just not that interesting. And, I'm not watching that. I'll watch a match here. I listen more to the wrestling podcast than I actually watch the show. Like Wrestling Soup, Jim Cornette. I'll listen to them. Solid Monster. I'll listen to them. But as far as like watching the actual wrestling, unless it's a match that I actually like and want a particular storyline, I'm not watching that thing for no 3 hours. I can't do it. I just can't. But recently, this interesting time for WWE, it started like with the whole thing, Royal Rumble. You had CM Punk come back. He just left AEW after he got fired by Tony Khan. And you see that everybody was, what's CM Punk going to do? What's he going to say? What are you going to do? And then you saw him confront Seth Rollins. You saw Seth Rollins going crazy at the Survivor Series when Punk came out cussing. And then they had their confrontation, which was well done. And made you like, what? So what's going to happen in WrestleMania? Oh, looks like they're going to be fighting at WrestleMania. Then you had Punk confront Cody. What's going to happen at the Royal Rumble? Who's going to win? We don't know. Then you got Drew confronting Punk. Drew confronting all these. It was so many different things that was going on that you didn't know which way they were going to go for the Royal Rumble. Then the Royal Rumble happened. Cody Rhodes won. And the last two was Punk and Cody. Cody won, so this twice in a row he's won the Royal Rumble. But then CM Punk got hurt, which, wow, that was a big blow. Big blow. Then Seth Rollins, I think 2 weeks after that, he got hurt. He fucked up his knee. So now he can't wrestle for Elimination Chamber, but He'd still be ready to go for WrestleMania, but now he don't have an opponent, and so that thing was taken away. And then all of a sudden, the Vince McMahon scandal. We find out that disgusting stuff that happened with Vince McMahon and this chick, Janelle Grant. That 67 page, which again, it sounds like a damn crazy porno. Nobody can read that stuff and tell me that don't sound like a porno, a story with a porno, some weirdo porno with some scat put into it. I mean, it just reading it, like, damn, is this a porno? I could go rent that on porno. I could go see that at Pornhub, except the scat part. Except that scat part. This is basically a porno, you know? So you have that going on. Then you have, before that, the WWE, they got a deal with Netflix where they're going to be paid $5 billion for showing Raw and some of the content on WWE, which, I mean, that was a banger deal. $5 billion for Raw. And considering that before the last year, Raw really wasn't, I mean, except for the Bloodline, really, Raw wasn't really that good. And you could say SmackDown wasn't really that good. And the fact they were able still to get $5 billion, that's crazy. So then you have Rock come in. He's the board of directors, which, I mean, considering The Rock is synonymous with wrestling and how he came from, even though his family has been in the wrestling business forever, just coming from a rookie to being one of the biggest stars in the wrestling industry to now being on the board of directors. That's even more crazy. And now he has some actual power and influence in the wrestling business. But then the Vince McMahon thing happened, and the response to that was not the best. So we're just looking at it like, so the first thing I did want to talk about, and I saw this, was the response by Triple H. And I gotta say, like, I heard what he said, and it was like, it's literally, he was, when they, after the Royal Rumble happened and they had the media scrum, and they were asking Triple H all these questions. Now, before that, you had Cody. They asked Cody the same question, which is not fair because he's the talent. He's not on the board of directors. He has no like creative power or anything. He's just a wrestler. And he answered it. He basically said, "Look, we're a family. I was shocked by what happened. He didn't bury Vince McMahon. He didn't go that route. He just said, look, we're a family, and it's sad that what happened to that woman, but what we're going to do, make sure that don't happen. No woman's going to be treated badly under our family. It's a different people than when they ran when Vince McMahon was there. Different people. So we're going to make sure that this don't happen. No woman is going to get taken advantage of." I mean, he talked like he was an executive because in AEW, he was an executive. He literally helped create AEW. So he's talking like he's a creator. I mean, he's an owner of a company. He's the executive. He's dealing with talent and stuff. So he's talking like from an executive. But here comes Triple H. Now, his response was, I'm not gonna worry about the negative. I'm just gonna worry about the positive. We just had a great Royal Rumble. In so many words, he like, we worry about the Royal Rumble, and we're gonna do what we can to make sure this don't happen. He might as well just say, "Fuck that bitch." He might. That response that Triple H had was literally, you might as well just say how to say "fuck that bitch" without saying "fuck that bitch." He literally just said "fuck that bitch." We got the Royal Rumble just happened. We got interesting stuff going on to WrestleMania. Man, fuck that bitch. I don't give a shit what happened to her. That's literally if that was the if there was any way to say fuck that bitch without going out and saying fuck that bitch, that was Triple H saying. I was like, dude, why would you do that? You could have just said nothing. I mean, the way Cody handled it was the way to respond to that. Another way, if you couldn't talk on it and say, look, this is an ongoing investigation. This is an ongoing legal matter. I cannot discuss it. As far as we're going to make sure we have policies in place so that no woman will have to be forced to literally get raped in order to have a job. But instead, he literally just said, fuck that bitch. And you got a locker room full of women. You got women employees. That's like if something happened at my job where a woman, God forbid, got raped either by a inmate or was in a sexual situation with one of my supervisors at work. And I go around saying, fuck that bitch. Who cares? I work with a bunch of women. I have women supervisors. How would that look? And I'm just a CO. I'm not even a supervisor. How would that look? So you got the man who's head of talent, who can really decide the fate of people's careers, especially the women, and you're saying, fuck this bitch. Who cares? In the Me Too era, this is still the Me Too era. You just had a situation with Cassie, P. Diddy. You just had a situation with Chris Jericho. You just had a situation, hell, let's take it back to Weinstein. If you thought Weinstein was bad, Vince McMahon took it and raised it to 10,000. And all you can say is basically saying, fuck that bitch. You can't do that. It's like, you just made the company look terrible. But then, of course, Vince McMahon got removed from being the CEO. And I want to talk about that right quick. You know how cold you got to give credit to Vince McMahon, and that's why I said power. When you got power, man, you can make anything happen. Vince McMahon, when he still had ownership of WWE, when they told him to get the F on, which he did in 2019, when he found out that he was paying all these women to not talk about basically the pussy bill, paying for the pussy bill. He messed with all these women. He paid them off. They did the pussy bill. Vince McMahon in 2020 came back and said, you know what? Hey, all these people that voted against me to get the fuck on, yeah, fired. Because he still had ownership. He still had power and influence. Came in, got rid of got rid of the ops, took over the company again, sold it, and made a deal where no matter what, he get paid. No matter what, he gets paid. If He if he said, hey, man, you know what? Fuck all of y'all. I don't give a fuck about y'all. I don't give a fuck about these women. Guess what? They still gotta pay him. If he quits, they still gotta pay him. They want to fire him. They gotta pay him. It's literally the fuck you pay me contract. Fuck you pay me. You want my company? No problem. Here you go. You can have it. But guess what? Fuck you pay me. You gotta pay me for continually for the next 2 years. You gotta pay me. No matter what. That's some power. That's power that you can only dream of. This remind me of the owner of the LA Clippers. When they found out he was this racist, which I don't know why anybody was surprised. Old white Jewish man, racist? Oh my God. Who can ever believe it? Guess what? Yeah, oh, you got to sell the team. Okay, no problem. Pay me. And guess what? They had to pay him I think it was $2 billion. Still had to pay that man. That's what Vince McMahon was. Okay, you want my company? Great. Still got to pay me. Put himself as a CEO of the company. Still got to pay him. Paying him a salary. So now with this scandal came up, the guy, Vince McMahon resigned, but they still got to pay him. Still got to pay him no matter what. They got to pay him. It's crazy. No good deal. That's what power does. That's when I talk about to these black dudes arguing with these women all day. Dude, you don't have no power. You arguing with these women. Hell, let's talk about the dudes, even the dudes who want to talk against the manosphere and all that. You don't have no power. Instead of arguing with these men, you wanna make these black men treat these women better, whatever, online, whatever. And I've said this to a bunch of these guys. What are you gonna do about it? Because unless you're gonna go beat their ass, and I know you're not gonna do that because you don't have no power. You go beat their ass, you're going to jail. Who's gonna put money on your books? Who's gonna take care of your family when you down? And you know a lot of these people who big up in you want you to go after these men. Guess what? They ain't gonna come bail you out. They're gonna say, "Well, I didn't tell them to do all that." Because the thing they don't understand, the power is not, hey, I'm not afraid to go to jail. Okay. You ain't afraid to go to jail. Guess what? The white man gonna put you in jail anyway. Okay, cool. We want you in jail. No problem. You ain't afraid? We're not afraid to put you there. Or put you in a pine box. And guess what? We ain't going to, most times we ain't going to jail. The problem, the power is not going to jail. I'm not afraid to go in jail. That's bullshit. Who cares? The white man wants to put you in jail. The power is, I'm not going to jail. They can't touch me. That's where the power is. So going back to Vince McMahon, he's not going to jail. He still gets paid regardless. That's what absolute power is. No matter what, it's going to benefit me. That's the flex. That's what black men need to get to. If you want control of your community that these pro-blacks, aka these black male feminists want, you want all that, you have to get power to do that. You got to get the power to where I'm not going to jail. They're not going to put me in jail. And even if I get put in jail, I'm going to be good. My family going to get taken care of until I get out. That's where the community needs to get those particular black men, these good black men that they say they want. You need to provide that so they have that leeway, so they can be like, I'm not worried about going to jail because they ain't going to jail. And if they're going to jail, guess what? Their family gonna get taken care of. But you tell that to all these people, oh, you scared. Oh, da da da. Y'all don't wanna sacrifice. No, nobody's gonna sacrifice something where their family is messed up or they're messed up for nothing. Nobody's going to do that. And you see with Vince McMahon, no matter what, he's getting paid to the end of to probably to his dying day. He's still going to get paid. His family is going to get paid. Stephanie McMahon, Shane McMahon, when he dies, they're gonna get their money. They good. His family is set. But that line in Jay-Z's on the Diamonds on Forever remix, when he was talking about his cousin, I forgot that guy's name. He said he don't have to make another. He don't have to make another record. He's gonna get taken care of. That's how you supposed to take care of your family. No matter what, they're gonna get taken care of. That's how Vince say what you want. That's what power does. Fuck everybody else. As long as I'm good, my family good. Go back to what Ramil did a live stream, and I agree with him. A lot of these family people do not care what the society. They're trying to shape society so their kids are good. Then it's not talking about for society, because sometimes what is good for your children may not be good for society. You're affecting society by trying to make sure your children are good. A lot of these laws are for messing with making sure the children good, but it's not necessarily good for the society. But that's human nature. You're gonna make sure your family good before you worry about what society does. It's cold, but that's how it is. So getting back to that one, Vince McMahon, Triple H response. You also had John Laurinaitis. So John Laurinaitis, for people who don't know, he was an executive of WWE. He was the head of talent relations. Then he had another job in WWE until he finally left in I think it was 2019. My dates may be off. He come out and say, there's some lies, blah, blah, blah. I'm a victim. Now, I know somebody was like, what the fuck? How are you a victim? You're a grown-ass man. How are you a victim of a 70? I think Laurinaitis is in his late 50s, early 60s. Vince McMahon in his late 70s, about to be 80. How are you a victim to this other man? What are you trying to say that because if you read the whole thing about what happened, he was one of the women. He was one of the dudes forcing this woman to, have sex with him. It's like, so what he trying to say? He trying to say, wait, you. So I didn't want to make her suck my dick or bang her while there was shit on her hair. He forced me to do it. I didn't have no choice. Now you're probably saying that's some bullshit. It's ridiculous, but let me tell you something. Home of the Auntie, how you doing? What's up? So you look at this dude. You're probably wondering how he do that. Why he consider himself a victim? That's like, but let me explain. In the prison, there are a lot of guys who will fake getting raped. Now you may think as a man, you're like, that's the last thing you want to admit that some man punked you. But guess what? When you're trying to get out that prison because you owe a bunch of people money and you know that then people are going to beat you up or worse, you will fake getting raped. I'll give you one story. There was this Hispanic dude. I come into work. Life is good, bro. You good? I'm good. I am good, actually. I'm doing well. You know, trying to just live life. Yeah, I hear about all this stuff on YouTube. I just laugh at it. This shit is funny, man. I don't know how you put up with it. This shit is hilarious, man. uh, but where was I? So so we had this inmate. Salute, keeping. Yeah, you too, man. Keep doing what you're doing, man. You know this YouTube stuff. This is all for entertainment. These people don't stand on nothing. You just get your money and keep it pushing, man. I'm not mad at you. So anyway, back to the inmate. This is one inmate. I come into work. They're like, hey, Officer Speak. Hey, you got to go down to Ben Taub. This inmate said he got raped. Now, in the area that I am in South in this in the area that I am, the only place we could take an inmate to get tested is at Ben Taub, and Ben Taub has what they call I forgot that, but it's a particular nurse that any time there's a accusation of rape, that's the nurse they go see to check and see if this person got raped. So we had to take him all the way to Ben Taub, and we had to get in front of this nurse. So he tells the story that my coworkers was letting men come in his cell and sodomize him with a broom, and this happened for months. That was the story. So, and of course, we had the PREA, which is the Prison Rape Elimination Act. This was signed in 2003. So anytime an inmate says he got raped, we have to take it seriously. If we don't, we can get sued. My secret is time. It's only 24 hours in everyone's day, even the trolls. Yep, I hear you. You know, I got you. So where was I? Okay, so we gotta take him down there to Ben Taub. We had to go see the nurse because he up there saying that everybody's conspiring to rape me. I'm like, what? I listen to this like, what? You think a bunch of officers it's gonna risk their career for this dude? Anyway, that's the story. So we get in the room, right? And the nurse was like, at first, she was like, yeah, you have to leave. I'm like, no, there's an inmate here. I'm not leaving. I can't not be out of sight with this inmate. So whatever you got to do, you got to do. So she ended up checking him, probing his booty. Yeah, it's just, so basically sodomizing him. That's basically what they did. They just stick something up to see if his booty got violated. Oh boy, that was the stuff I got to go through being a correctional officer is fun. Yeah. So she get done what she had to do, checking everything. And then she came out, basically said, this dude didn't get raped. Nah, he faking. I could tell he ain't nothing been penetrating that one. Now, you will say, like, man, some dude would claim to get raped. Why would he do that? That would make him sound like a punk. But you got to understand something. When there's threats of you gonna get beat up, killed, raped, yeah, and you need to get off that unit quickly, One of the quickest way to get you off that unit is to claim that you got raped. That is the quickest way to separate you and put you in a single cell by yourself and get you off that unit. Because nobody, trust me, we had a situation where we had a supervisor when an inmate said he got raped and they chose to ignore it. That person got fired, and I think he even got sued. And that was with an inmate with an officer. That supervisor got fired because he reported it, and the supervisor ignored it. She got fired. They take that really seriously. You got a choice. Got to. And these inmates know that. That's why they play that game. Because one, we can't really tell you about it. We can't tell who it is. We can't say nothing because if we go out there and say, "Oh yeah, so and so got raped," yeah, we can get in trouble, even fired. And if we choose to ignore it, we can get fired and get sued by the family. Not only will they sue the state, but they'll also sue the officer directly and get in criminal charges. And these inmates know that. That's why they'll play that game. They'll say, "Yeah, I got raped." So because we got to separate them while we investigate, and then we got to get them off the unit. So, so I linked that back to John Laurinaitis. He's facing, well, he's not getting criminally, but that's a lot of money he's gonna have to pony up. So instead of playing, I'm gonna play the victim. Yeah, he forced me to bang her. I was under distress. Yeah, he make himself look like a punk, but guess what? If he push it against Vince McMahon, guess what? He ain't got to pay nothing. Or if he going to have to pay, it's going to be minimal. Or he'll turn against Vince McMahon and be like, "Yeah, it was him. He did it. He made me do it. I was under duress." I mean, I mean, call him being a punk, but guess what? If being a punk will save you millions of dollars, wouldn't you do it? If being a punk will save you millions of dollars, we're talking about millions of dollars. Going to court, have your name plastered everywhere, your face plastered everywhere. Any chance of you getting a high paying job is gone at that point. Wouldn't you play the punk role? Wouldn't you? I'm just saying. There's layers to the stuff. Hey, forget your pride. When it comes to millions of dollars, people's pride go out the window. I don't care about that pride. There's millions of dollars I'm about to and chance of getting another job, a high paying job. Yeah, I'll play the punk. I'll be the punk all day. But guess what? That punk going to still get paid because he want to play the punk role. I'm just saying. Hey, when there's big money, a lot of people got this pride thing, but when there's big money involved, that pride goes away real quick. Remember with Terry Crews, what happened with him? Yeah, when there's millions of dollars involved, hey, that pride goes away. Now, yeah, I gotta be a victim. Now, the only problem is you can't out victim a woman. You're a grown ass man. How you gonna be a victim of another man? Nobody's gonna see it that way. But if they got a bigger monster, it takes some of the heat off of him. But we'll see how that goes. So another thing I did want to talk about, you had The Rock come in as on the board of directors, and then now he's going to face, well, he's trying to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania. He literally took his spot, took Cody's spot, and Cody was like kind of co-signing it. Remember, Cody won Royal Rumble, and that's his shot to face Roman Reigns at WrestleMania to finish his story. Because last year he won the Royal Rumble, went to face Roman Reigns, he lost. Some bullshit, but he lost. And this whole last year was him trying to get back to that spot to face Roman Reigns again. He went through Brock Lesnar, he went through the Judgment Day, and then he won the Royal Rumble again, back to back. First man in almost 30 years to do that. And then The Rock just come in, became the board director, said, you know what? Hey, Cody, I'm going to take that spot. Okay, Rock. And everybody's like, what the fuck? What? So Rock could just come in and be like, take his spot after Cody? Nah, we ain't cool with that. Man, fuck that shit. Nah, we ain't do it. And I mean, just hate mail. His daughter getting death threats. I'm pretty sure Rock got some death threats. Yeah, wrestling fans are crazy, man. I tell you, Beehive, Taylor Swift fans, wrestling fans. Wrestling fans are something else, bro. You don't want to mess with a wrestling fan, especially when they have a fan favorite, their favorite wrestler, favorite company. Oh boy. So we come to the Friday before last, where they had a WrestleMania kickoff, and Rock is like, instead of being an opponent of Roman, he's basically like his handler, and you have Roman be like, hey, look, hey, he don't even look like the head of the table now. He met the real head of the table, which is The Rock now. He positioned himself in a power position to where technically in WWE, he's the head of the table because he's on the board of directors. He can do whatever. He can vote to get rid of Roman if he really wants to. Him and his whole family. Ain't that some crazy stuff? But anyway, so you had the conference and Cody come up there. He's like, you know what? I know I said I'd let you take my spot, but nah, bro. I'm listening to fans. I'm like, no, I want my spot, man. I want my spot back. I want to face Roman at WrestleMania. And I guess Rock and Roman talk shit about his dad, and he said, well, then. And Cody came back like, oh, you want to talk about my dad? Or what about your dad? What about your grandfather? They be ashamed of y'all right now. What y'all doing? So Rock went up and slapped him upside the face. And then Roman and Rock left together. Rock confronts Triple H, hey, you need to fix this. But that's in the storyline. But the real reality is a lot of the fans was like, nah, we ain't having it. Rock can't just come in and take over that spot for Cody. No, we ain't having it. And they would have a situation that they had at WrestleMania, I think about 20 years ago, when Brock and Goldberg was wrestling. They were both leaving the company. They booed the shit out of that match. Just straight booing everybody. They're going to have a situation like that. Or something in 2015 when they was pushing Roman Reigns to be Cena number 2. And The Rock was up there holding his hand after he won the Royal Rumble. And everybody booed the shit out of Roman and The Rock. That's like the second time. That was like the first time I've seen people just straight up boo. Like everybody booing The Rock. Like everybody. The only other time, where The Rock was intentionally trying to get booed was 2003 when he was being a heel. You know, he was trying to get booed. This one, 2015, he wasn't trying to get booed. It was supposed to be a cheering moment, and they booed the shit out of it. They don't want that at WrestleMania because that was going to happen. If they would go in with Rock and Roman at WrestleMania, he was going to get booed out the building. They can't have that. So, you know, they had to course correct. But it is an interesting dynamic because now there's other ways you can go with it. Because now if you got Rock, Roman, now you really have a bloodline that's in every facet of WWE. You got Rock and the board of directors. You got Roman as the Universal Champion. You got Jimmy, Sequoia. Hell, you even got Jay on there as a baby face. You got The Rock's daughter, who's now in storyline the GM of NXT. You have an interesting dynamic now. Now the bloodline is literally everywhere. The bloodline is literally, you got a Samoan in every facet of WWE. It's crazy. And so now, if you go, now you got Cody who's got to fight. Not only does he have to fight Roman Reigns, but you also got to fight The Rock. This reminded me back in WrestleMania 30 when you had Daniel Bryan. Before WrestleMania, they were making sure that there was no way Daniel Bryan was getting a WrestleMania moment. They were putting all these different obstacles in front of him. They didn't even have him in the Royal Rumble match. And because of the fans, they literally had no choice but to put him in WrestleMania. And he ended up winning at WrestleMania 30. He won the championship, beating out Randy Orton and Batista and Triple H. Now there's a point that I want to talk about my plan on it. Instead of doing Rock and Roman, save that to 41 or SummerSlam. Have Rock and Cody. Just like when Daniel Bryan had to face Triple H to see who was going to face Randy Orton and Batista. How about do it night one, you got Cody versus Rock. You ain't got to have a long match. You can have a 10-minute match. Because we know Rock is, I mean, he's about 50. I think he's in his 50s, early 50s. And I know he looks great, but there's a difference between looking great and being able to wrestle. Because it takes stamina. You have to interact with the crowd. It's not only like a physical thing, but it's also a mental thing. Knowing what moves to do, what not to do, and it's a lot of that takes a toll on your mind and your body, and that's not something you can just do. You have to train for that. And Rock hasn't wrestled since he hadn't wrestled, I think, going on 3-4 years now. So you have a situation where Rock don't need to do a long match. Give him about 5-10 minutes. Boom. Cody wins that match, night one. But Rock does something to hurt him to where now you don't know if Cody going to win that match. Then you go past that. Night number 2, he faces Roman. Cody's hurt. You have the bloodline involved. You have Rock get involved. But then you have people on Cody's side. You have Sami Zayn, Kevin Owens, Seth Rollins get involved to counter what the bloodline doing, what the Rock doing, and you have Cody win. The end result, Cody got to win. I don't think you need to do a three-way. I think that would be lame. I think it should be Rock versus Cody, night one, then Cody versus Roman, night two. Cody wins the title, overcoming all these different obstacles, all this bloodline. That's how you win that match. That's how you go. And then you cause that's the start of the eventual break between Rock and Roman. And 41, you have Rock and Roman at WrestleMania. Either you have Rock as the babyface or Roman as the babyface, whichever one you want to go. So it's solved. You get Rock at WrestleMania. He has his match. Except having it against Roman, you have it against Cody, and you save that match for WrestleMania 41. Or you can do it at SummerSlam, or you can do it at Royal Rumble, whichever. There's ways to get out of this. I'd rather they don't do the three-way. I don't think you need to do the three-way. I know they did three-way at 30, but that's really because they still had only one night. You don't have to have that because you have two nights of WrestleMania. You have Saturday and Sunday. How about have Rock and Cody night one, and then Cody and Roman night two? Easy. You don't even have to do the cart him out and all that kind of stuff. If they want to do that, put extra on it, But I would say do that. And you can fix all this other stuff. You have to have Rock in there. You want to take all the attention away from Vince McMahon and that scandal, which you can't do. But if you want to lighten the attention on that, you do Cody versus Rock night one, Cody versus Roman night two. Have the Rock cost Roman the match somehow, some way, and you create that split. Because let's look at it. Rock and Roman. What beef is there? Especially since Rock is at the board of directors. He has more power in the wrestling world than Roman has. He can take the title. He can influence to where they take the title off of Roman. Because technically speaking, the rule is he has to defend that title every 30 days. If he chooses to break it, they can take the title off of it. So in storyline, Rock has more power than Roman Reigns. He has more power than Roman. He has more power than even Triple H. He's Triple H's boss. Well, one of his bosses. In real life, he's higher than Triple H, which is crazy because back in the day, they were equal. They were both wrestling, competing, professional, competing with each other, be the best, be the top star. And now look at him. Rock is above Triple H. Triple H stayed in WWE. Stayed. He never left. He never left at any time. He stayed in WWE. Meanwhile, Rock left, went to Hollywood. Now he came back because of his stardom and position in Hollywood. He came back and be a board of directors. He's more powerful than Triple H. That's crazy. Meanwhile, Triple H has been here. Good, bad, and different. Triple H been here. Helped build up NXT. Saved the sinking ship when even Vince was sinking it, where it was just not popular. If you take away 2 years ago, I would say 2-3 years ago, the whole reason why AEW got more popular because the Raw was just terrible. SmackDown was just terrible. Nobody wanted to see that stuff. They were begging for an alternative, and that's how AEW got so popular because Raw was just so boring. SmackDown was it's just like WWE was just so boring. Nobody wanted to see that shit. So they was going with AEW. And within the span of the 2 years, when Triple H started taking over creative for Raw, SmackDown, as well as NXT, he built up NXT. That's why people love Triple H and NXT, because he this is a wrestling mind, knowing how people get over. He may not be the best mind, but he also got a bunch of people around him that know how to build wrestlers up. A lot of your biggest stars came out of NXT. Yourself, your Roman Reigns, um, Charlotte, Becky Lynch. All these people came out from NXT. Now, be fair, especially Becky, they were in the independents, but they weren't there too long. But a lot of those NXT, a lot of the stars they have right now came from NXT, was under Triple H. Like I said, Becky, Bailey, Seth, Roman. All these people came from NXT under Triple H, and now they're the big stars. So you have Triple H was been here building stars for tomorrow. He was doing all that, and then you have Rock, who's gone. He was in and out. Now he come back, buy his way in to be the board of directors. He still have more power than Triple H does. That's crazy. That's a storyline in and of itself. No matter what, Triple H is like, look, the little brother to The Rock. That's crazy. Just a shame that Triple H can't wrestle because of his heart. So they can have their match. So he can get involved. It's an interesting, like I said, this is an interesting time for WWE. You have so many storylines, wrestling storylines, and outside with the Vince McMahon. What they're going to do about that? How they going to try, as much as they can, take the attention off of that and put it back on the wrestling. And the way they did was funky, but they did. And now we're back to focusing on WrestleMania. What they're going to do at WrestleMania? What The Rock going to do? Well, it's an interesting time for WWE. They had a lot of good, and then a lot of bad, and now you got an interesting thing. You're always going to talk about the Vince McMahon scandal, especially now. You got to see what they're going to do. Are they going to settle out of court? Are they going to have a long court session? I don't think for either party, for Janelle Grant and Vince McMahon, they have a long trial. It's not going to look good for neither of them. Because even with the whole thing with the 67-page, there's some people saying, why the fuck is she allowing this shit to go on for this much time? She ain't say nothing. She didn't go to court. She didn't file charges, criminal charges. There's still people saying that. And if this thing goes to trial and they got to bring up all this different stuff, like I said before, yeah, you can tell your truth, but you better be willing to say your truth as well. Just like I said with Cat Williams, up there talking about all this stuff that all these celebrities were doing, from the Steve Harveys to Kevin Hart's, but you ain't talking about how you stole jokes, how you beating on women, trying to fight kids, and just being a menace to everybody. That's the same thing with the Janelle Grant. It's going to be the same situation. It's like, wait a second, hold on. All right, this dude do this for years, and you didn't go to the cops? You didn't tell nobody? That's how If I was Vince McMahon's defense attorney, I would say that it's fucked up, but that's an interesting question. You didn't go to the cops, So I don't know. I was looking at somebody. Yeah. But that's going to be an interesting trial if they go to trial. I doubt it. They probably just pay her out. I know one thing. They better pay whatever they paid Cassie. What P Diddy paid Cassie, they better double that for this chick. Because if even a little bit of what they said in that whole 6 or 7 page thing is true, it ain't gonna look good for Vince McMahon or John Laurinaitis. I'm just saying. But on the same token, it's probably not gonna look good for her either. Because people are already gonna be saying, like, well, wait a second, you didn't go to the cops. You didn't make even the attempt. And you took a $3 million deal with the NDA. That's the one strike against her. She signed that NDA. And the only reason why she's even saying anything now is because he didn't pay the $3 million. But like I said, it's going to be an interesting time for WWE. It's a very interesting time. Like I said, they had a lot of good, they got a lot of bad, and they done some things where, whew, but they're trying to right the ship. And now we're back to where it was. We're more focused on WrestleMania, what's going on, and we'll have to see. I think this is going to be the biggest WrestleMania they're going to have. You had the most interesting Royal Rumble they ever had. I think if they play it right, this is going to be the most interesting Royal Rumble in a long time. This is I'm like, this is an interesting time for WWE right now, and how they play, we have to see. It, despite all this is a kind of a good position for WWE to have. It's very intriguing what they're going to do, despite the whole Vince McMahon scandal. This is an interesting time for WWE, and I'm here for it. Anyway, that's it for me. I'm about to get up out of here and go outside and do some stuff. After I talk, I guess call back my friend and see what they got talking about. But anyway, thank you, James Keels, NT, and D Darrell for coming through. This is Brother Speak of the Brother Speak podcast. And black men, be powerful or be powerless. The choice is yours. I am out. Peace. Have a good day, y'all.